Hello everyone, this is FantasyEsque and welcome back to the Sims 4 Vampire Amazon Royal Saga with the Salazar Coven. We are picking up with our scholar, Lady Elaine, and the male that she has been paired with for her first breeding, Beau Salazar, the son of Queen Wisteria Salazar, and the twin brother of Ronald Salazar, who I think was paired with Catherine. So I didn't even realize I was doing this, but it seems as though we're having a lot of like twin and twin pairings where we have like twin females mating with either the same set of twin males or like twin sisters mating with twin brothers, and I kind of like that going on. Kind of like that because Catherine and Elaine are twins, and then Beau and Ronald. So hey, that's what we have going on here. Unfortunately, the pairing with Catherine and Ronald resulted in a boy, but Lord Leon is like super cute. He's got the characteristic golden yellow hair, and then I think he's got purple eyes, so he's a little bit unique. And then we've got these two. So Beau over here, he's got pink hair. So he's a bit special. So if they have a daughter, the daughter is going to have bright pink hair. And he has the same blue eyes as Elaine, so their child will have blue eyes, whether it is a boy or a girl. And of course, because both have beautiful dusky skin, their child is guaranteed to also have dusky skin, which is going to be so exciting because we love these sort of skin tones. It's very much in the Ronarine line of things, which neither of these are. They stem from the same Salazar line, even though Elaine has the last name Dragon, she's from a cadet branch, but you know, they have the same ancestry. So okay, before we dive into this exciting pairing, we need to have a quick chat about the mini-movie at the beginning of this episode. So there were 3 different sections to it. In the first one, we were with Sage and Princess Juno. They were kind of bantering with each other, and we got to see how close they are physically. Like, they're very chummy with each other. At least Sage is with Juno. And because he's an escapist, I imagine he's not really bound by a lot of the rules for etiquette and, you know, how you're supposed to be acting with your princess cousin. He doesn't care. That sort of life is not really for him. I don't think he's plotted his future in the way his mother would have liked, in that, you know, I'm going to be in the army and I'm going to be subservient to all these women and I'm going to serve them and that's going to be the sole purpose of my life. I think for him it's like, my life is my own and I may very well choose to leave the Empire and travel far away from here. So it doesn't matter to me too much what kind of rules this kind of society requires us to live with. So that's going to be his thing. And I feel like Juno was testing the waters a little bit because Sage was kind of saying, oh, I heard you were terrorizing Griffin, and then Princess Juno, she was replying, oh, it was just, you know, a conversation. Did I scare him? And then Sage said, well, not scare. Maybe you just concerned him? No, he said something else. He said something else, but you basically made him a little bit wary and thoughtful and concerned and or troubled. I think that's what he said. You troubled him, not scared him. And then he said, I can't imagine how any man is going to handle you. You're too dangerous. Like, the way she talks, the kind of conversation she makes is too dangerous, and the stuff she notices, right? And she was saying, well, it seems as though you are the only man that can handle me. And Sage was flattered by that, but then he said, well, I don't count because I'm your cousin. So there was that. I feel like Sage probably didn't realize the way Juno was talking to him, but he obviously doesn't even see that as a possibility because their society does not allow it. But for Juno, her brain's kind of working in a different direction right now, and she's considering Sage less and less a cousin and more a potential partner, or the only capable partner in her eyes. So we had that scene, and then our second scene was in the throne room. So we had a very busy throne room because a whole bunch of people were in attendance, and then these 2 visitants, the captains, Trista and Sherlo, walked in, and the queen, I think, was very happy to see them and surprised. Maybe she thought they had a missive from Prince Voldemort, and she welcomed them and said, you've had a long journey, how can I help you? And it seems as though Trista and Sherlo are quite cold because they said it seems as though you aren't yet aware, but Our Highness, or His Highness, Prince Voldemort Karamazov is dead, and we demand answers. Now, the queen was quite grief-stricken by this. She wasn't expecting it. She found it a little hard to believe. She said, wait, what? How? He was fine by all accounts. And then the visitants, they said, precisely, it doesn't seem natural. So then the queen, very quickly after that, tasked Lady Guinevere with investigating the matter and finding out the truth of it, and Guinevere accepted that task. And then once everyone had cleared out and the visitants had left, the queen was speaking privately to Elaine, and she said, well, now we can move on to the next thing on our agenda, which is your matter. And she summoned in the male that she had decided to pair with Elaine, which was Beau. And Beau presented himself, and then he was passed on to Elaine, and that's kind of where we are carrying on from. So let's take a look at Beau just a little bit more. Now, he and Ronald, even though they are twins, they do look quite a bit different. So they're not identical twins. Not identical twins at all. But he's got those lovely blue eyes and the pink hair, the bright pink hair. Now, obviously with him, I think he was because he's got black eyebrows, I think he was born with black hair like Ronald, but then when he aged up through magical means or what, his hair turned bright pink, and I think I want to keep the bright pink. So he's obviously a little bit different from his brother, and I kind of like that. So if he has a daughter, she will have this bright pink hair from birth, and she'll have blue eyes, and I think that will be quite lovely. But he is a good looking sim. I keep mistaking, like, he and his brother, I keep mistaking them for Ranarines, or not anymore, but initially I did, but they don't have any, I think, Ranarine lineage. They are pure Salazars. But okay, Elaine, I swear, the more time I spend with Elaine, the more and more beautiful she looks to me, so I'm, like, very excited about this particular pairing. So, okay, let's go ahead, and I think she should be able, no? I thought they had, like, more flirtation going on. Apparently not. And I hope they don't get disturbed by anyone. Oh my goodness. Serana, was she trying to be flirty with him? Serana, no. What are you doing? What are you doing, Serana? Stop. Don't do ish like that, please. We don't appreciate that. Okay. Just gonna ask a risque question. Oh no? He didn't like that? Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Oh, no. Things are going great. Can we just dive straight to the first case? Things are going great. Okay, it's suggestive. Let's ignore what happened and keep going. Serana, you stay out of this. Stay out of this, woman. Okay, here they go. I think this is going to be more successful. There we go. Oh, that's cute. That's cute. I'm really excited for them to have a blue-eyed child because I don't think we have too many. I think... I feel like we have one boy with blue eyes, maybe. One boy, if I'm not mistaken. Is it one of these ones? I think it's Ari. Oh my goodness, does she have a romance with Ari? Whoa, what about Channing? What about Channing? Oh my goodness, Kyra, what are you doing? But I think Ari is the only boy that's inherited blue eyes. Because Rusty has mint, Channing has yellow, Sage and Griffin have periwinkle, Xander has red, and then the others, they don't have blue eyes. So this is going to be an exciting child between the two of them. Okay, let's not waste any time between you two and see if we can... Nope. Do we... Oh, no. I had the wrong sim lined up. No? Do we have to be a bit more steamy? Is that it? Okay, let's up our flirtation game. And there is a shower right over there. Look at Elaine. She is gorgeous, isn't she? She's just lovely, in all honesty. Nope. We still need to amp things up a little bit more. Let's hold hands. Come on, Beau. But look at how much success she's having with Beau compared to Serana. Serana is really struggling with all of the males that she's been paired up with. Like, no one seems to be that excited to get anything going with her, and she's had, at least the past 2 readings, she's had to use potions, which is admittedly not that great. Okay, we still need a bit more work. Let's compliment appearance. It's taking a bit to warm up, but that's kind of okay, because we're making better progress than we were with Serana. So thankfully this isn't nearly as frustrating as it was the last time. But as with every new female, like every female's first breeding, I feel like is very, very exciting for everyone. Because, you know, they're finally getting a chance. Oh, there we go. Finally, I think we can jump them on in. So, yep, we'll send them in there. And that is good, that is well. But I feel like the first breeding is quite exciting, and on top of that, it's taken Elaine, if you think about it, it's taken Elaine like so long to get her chance. If we look at the breedings that have been done, I think this is the 14th or the 15th breeding. If we include, obviously, the spellcaster, the physician as well. This is the 14th or 15th breeding we've had this season. So obviously she's had to wait a very long time to get this chance. And who knows when she'll get another one. So I feel like this is very important for Elaine. Especially because Juno is... the queen's just sitting here casually. The queen's very invested, it seems, in the queen's very... Look, she's watching and everything. Ah, Eden, you're a bit creepy. But I think the queen is very invested in our scholar, and... Is this her uncle? The scholar and her uncle's pairing? Yes. Okay, so Beau is her uncle, which means Elaine's child will be the queen's cousin. Okay, okay. So that's interesting. But like, if Sage had been the queen's cousin, then I think a vampiric society would have allowed that match. But because he's directly her cousin, obviously nothing can come of it. Obviously. Okay, let's take a test. Was that successful? Look, the queen is very invested. She's like waiting here and everything to make sure everything goes down as planned. Okay. Well, we've had girls in the last 2 births, so I don't know if this one's going to result in a girl as well. Okay, she's expectant. Lovely. But I mean, if you think about it, if we've had so many boys in a row, surely we're going to have some girls in a row. Surely. Okay, let me just put this event in. So, let's have a look. 1, 2, 3. It's on Wednesday. Wednesday. House party. Host. Eden, Elaine, Kyra, Juno, and Serana, of course. The guests, we want Beau, for sure. Is Guinevere not with us? Apparently not. Guinevere, Lagatha, Catalea. We'll do Catherine. Who else is not with us? Ronald, I feel like should come, because this is going to be his niece or nephew that is born. So I feel like they would be quite invested. And I think that's about it. We'll kind of keep it small. And then we can invite the groups when we need. So, okay, 3 p.m. We'll do 4 p.m. then. We'll do 4 p.m. Okay, nice. So that baby is going to be born after the mentorship. And like the day before the winter escape. Okay, okay. But this is mind-blowing. We have Kyra's birthday into an immortal coming up so soon, and then not long after that, we've got Juno's birthday coming up. And that's kind of scary, just a little bit. That's a little bit scary to me, because they're growing up so quick. It just feels like they're growing up so quick, but then they've been around for so long. it feels like they're growing up quick because we're not done having babies yet, but they were born very, very early on, and they have matured since then. But let's have a look. They have some interesting whims, I think. Actually, do we have any other guests? Like, do you want to invite them? You know what? Even though they do have whims, we do have some important stuff to get going. So I feel like we need to focus in on some of those things. For example, the queen, she has discovered, and that's why she's quite upset, she's discovered that Voldemort has died, and this has come as a huge shock to her. Because in her mind, who is going to target the visitant prince, royalty, not only because of the special identity he has as the like foreign prince, right, foreign royalty / invader, but also because he is her youngest princess's father, new father, right? So why would someone try to damage the relationship the visitants have with the court by doing something like that? So the queen is quite shocked. And so Guinevere is the one who has to carry out that investigation. So we'll have to see what happens and how certain things connect, because Guinevere, she is not exactly privy to stuff that has been going on. If we think about the Sims and where they've been staying when they're not in the castle, anyone who would know about that whole fiasco, basically anyone who would know anything about Serana, that would be Elaine, Catalea, and both of these women stay at Castle Sheba, whereas Guinevere and Lagatha, they stay at the Creature Cradle because, you know, they're involved with each other. So even if things are happening, it's not exactly something that they are aware of. So how is everything going to connect? Let's go ahead and let's see who we end up with and what exactly they do in this investigation. We are picking up at the Meredith Museum with our champion and Lady Catalea. So what is the situation going on here? Basically, Guinevere went to visit the visitants and she had a conversation with them about the prince's plans before he left the House of Lords, and they said that he had gotten an invitation to go to the Meredith Museum. So she has decided, the champion, to come and check out the Meredith Museum. But before she did that, she kind of looked through the whole chronology of the deaths that have been happening, because yes, Voldemort died, but they can't exactly discount that Meredith died as well, and her death wasn't as suspicious, but at the same time, she fell into a river, and in hindsight, it does seem a bit odd that Meredith would fall into a river for no flippin' reason. So, like, when the visitant said that it doesn't seem natural, that kind of made Guinevere think about when Meredith died, and she figured, well, if this isn't natural, then it might be connected to Meredith's death. And then she started looking at the timeline of people who have been coming to court or entering the Empire with special identities, and she realized that the deaths started happening after Hades entered the court, right? And obviously she doesn't know if he is the killer, but she does know that things started changing after Hades arrived, and Hades is part demon. So she's thinking, what if devil magic was involved in these deaths? Because obviously that is something that has happened in the past with the Devil's All line, right? So that's a whole other ball game to deal with, and Guinevere, even though she is a powerful vampirist, does not have all the know-hows of devil magic. So she reached out to Lady Catalea, who is the castle keeper at Castle Sheba in Forgotten Hollow, because everyone knows that Catalea is part demon as well. And so Guinevere thought maybe Catalea has, some ability to help her in this investigation, at least in the initial stages. And so she's had a conversation with Catalea, and Catalea has told her that, yes, I do have powers that allow me to identify if devil magic was used in the vicinity, because I myself am part demon and I do have access to devil magic. Even though I don't really use it, I do have access to it, so I can identify whether it was used, and then you'll be able to, confirm or at least put away this idea that maybe this person might have been involved. So Guinevere is chatting with Catalea, and Catalea is going to kind of stalk through the halls a little bit, I think, until she finds the source of the devil magic. So she's gonna get on up. And she's gonna kind of stalk the halls and see if there's any way that she can pick up on that. And the more she's walking, the more she's getting this sense that, yes, something's a bit different here. And then when she enters this particular room, she's gonna feel like, okay, it's undeniable. Devil magic was used. They can't tell who used it, but, there's two people with important or special identities in the kingdom at present. One's Catalea, who came in from outside, and obviously if it's not her, it's going to be Hades, right? And Catalea wasn't around when Meredith died, so Guinevere isn't considering Catalea as one of the killers. So she's going ahead, and I feel like Guinevere would know, because she and Lagatha are involved. She would know that Lagatha and Catalea do not get along at all, and they dislike each other a lot. But I feel like Guinevere is trying to approach this from a logical point of view. So she's going to follow Catalea, or I think she's going to let Catalea do her own thing. She's going to let Catalea do her own thing. And then, while Catalea is here, actually, yeah, go converse with her. Go share some vampiric knowledge. Yeah, and so Catalea is going to tell her it's undeniable. Devil magic was used in this very room. She can sense it to take someone's life. So Voldemort's death was not an accident. It was not an accident. Someone was intentionally out to do that. Now, Catalea and Guinevere, when it became known that they were making a trip to Meredith Museum, someone showed up with Lord Chance. So Chance Covenrose showed up, and then so did Prince Darrell Salazar. And I don't know if you guys remember, but Darrell was actually here when Voldemort died. So he witnessed Voldemort's death, and he also witnessed two spellcasters being present during the death. One was Lady Serana and one was Hades. So I think Darrell is going to be hovering around Catalea a little bit, because he and Catalea are actually friends. So now, is Guinevere friends with Darrell? Not really. So out of the two adults that are here right now, I feel like Darrell would be more comfortable talking to Catalea than he would talking to the fearsome Lady Guinevere. So Catalea, I think she's going to notice that Darrell's been paying her a bit of attention, or, he's been trying to make eye contact with her and approach her, but he seems to be nervous around Guinevere. So she is going to leave Guinevere in that room to do some investigation of her own, and then she is going to come back here, and oh, nope. Guinevere is like, I'll be here as well. Okay, well, why don't let's disband the group. Let's get you two in a group, and maybe we can come. Can we come over here? Can we come? Yep, okay, we'll come over there. So Guinevere and Darrell sorry, jeez, Catalea and Daryl can have a private conversation. So Daryl, he's going to share with Catalea what he saw on that day. He's going to share that he saw 2 spellcasters the day that Voldemort died. And he's not entirely sure why this isn't already common knowledge yet, because a bunch of other people were here as well. So Catalea is going to quickly realize, okay, so crap, Hades did something. And we know that Catalea and Hades, they came as part of kind of the same group. So they were supposed to help each other. They're both kind of agents of the demon faction who are supposed to be helping each other, but they haven't really met each other or know each other's identities, right? So I wouldn't say they're loyal to each other, but they were supposed to assist each other in the grand scheme of things. Now, Catalea is realizing that if she's not careful, she will get exposed by Hades, right? But she obviously doesn't want to let this go on so long that it is going to harm her in the long term. But also, Hades can't exactly rat her out and then go back to the demon faction and expect nothing to happen to him. He has to protect Catalea's identity as well, because she's more important than him. So Catalea over here, she's going to take this information from Daryl, and she's going to say, okay, well, I will try and figure out what to do. Don't worry about it anymore. Thank you for sharing this information with me. I'll make sure that we investigate this properly and it gets to the right people. So I think Daryl's happy that he's told Catalea, but Catalea, being a little bit unsure about how to approach this, she's gonna take, I think, her time in thinking this out and figuring out how she's gonna get this information to Guinevere, because Guinevere is the one investigating. But I think at this point also, her relationship with Guinevere isn't that high. So kind of the same as Daryl. Yes, Guinevere is the one investigating, but can she trust Guinevere to have kind of her interests at heart? Because nobody knows that she's connected except for her. I mean, she didn't cause these deaths, but these deaths allowed her to enter the court. So she needs to figure out what she's going to do with this. And she needs to figure out how she can protect herself. On the other hand, we have Guinevere, who has now confirmed that devil magic was involved. And so she currently feels like Hades is her main suspect. So she's going to try and think about this a bit more and see who else she can go to, who else she can talk to further this investigation, because things are starting to pick up and get a bit interesting for Guinevere, and that's not necessarily a good thing. So we'll catch up with these guys in a bit. We are back at the castle, and oh my goodness, Lagatha, are you okay? What are you doing? What are you doing, honey? What is she doing? She's like teleporting all over the place. Oh my goodness. But Catalea over here is going to the one person that she is emotionally attached to at this point. Actually, hold on. It seems as though Elaine wants to go out to Meredith's gravestone. So I suppose we can do that. But then Guinevere is out there as well. Guinevere's out there as well. Yes, you stay up. Stay up. So yeah, play with Catalea. But she's going to the one person she's emotionally attached to in the coven right now, in any serious manner, and that is Elaine. So one, Catalea is going to be giving her congratulations for the pregnancy, but also she feels as though because she's, romantically attached to Elaine, Elaine is probably going to have her good at heart more than anyone else. Obviously, she's not going to tell her anything she deems to be too risky, like her connection to Hades, but she's going to share the details of the case with Elaine, because Elaine is also known to be very, very intelligent. And she's thinking maybe Elaine's going to know how I can approach this, right? So she's going to tell Elaine that Daryl approached her and told her Hades was there and Serana was there, but again, she doesn't know the political landscape over here, so she's not entirely sure if Serana is a trustworthy character or she isn't a trustworthy character. So she is just going to say that Daryl seems to have been a witness to Voldemort's death, and that Guinevere currently suspects Hades. Which, when Elaine hears, she's gonna have quite a laugh in regards to that. Because if you remember, Elaine has known for a long time that Serana is the one who killed Meredith. And she knows that because Juno was an eyewitness as a youngster, as a child, to that whole fiasco. And she ran away and told Elaine, who she trusted at the time. And Elaine said not to worry about it anymore. Forget about it. I'll deal with it. And then she never brought it up. She's always kept it secret. But Elaine, does know that, yes, Serana's the one going around doing these things. She just hasn't said anything about it. But now that someone else has been an eyewitness, and, someone whose mouth they can't exactly control, someone who's told Catalea, now Catalea has shared it with Elaine. And if Elaine isn't careful about this, and how this gets used, who knows who else is going to find out. And then, eventually Elaine might get in trouble for keeping it a secret. Because if it gets to the point where Juno needs to talk about it, and Juno says, well, I told Elaine said to keep quiet, it's going to implicate Elaine in a way. Like, why did you stop everyone from getting justice for Meredith? So Elaine obviously now sees an opportunity for her to either get trapped or to help manipulate the situation into building better relationships. So right now she knows that Guinevere is looking for the killer. She's investigating, and Catalea has told her all of these kind of things. So she's going to take this kind of advisory role. Look, she saw that Guinevere was there and she walked away. She's going to take an advisory role. She's taking a walk by herself because she needs to think about things. And she, I think, is going to decide that she and Catalea should come together and she should tell Guinevere about the incident. But then also, right now, Catalea is in an awkward position too, because Daryl told her something which she hasn't brought up to Guinevere. And now if Elaine goes and says, oh yeah, by the way, Catalea has extra information, then that's going to make Catalea look bad in front of Guinevere. Because then Guinevere is going to turn around and say, well, why didn't you tell me beforehand? Why did you go to Elaine instead of just telling me what you learned earlier in the day? So Elaine over here, she's going to want to play goody two-shoes to both Guinevere and Catalea. So she is going to tell Catalea not to worry about it. She will deal with it. You don't get involved. You don't have to share what Daryl told you with anyone. I'm going to make sure that the information gets across to Guinevere without stressing you out in any way. So she's going to, I think, she will have given Catalea that comfort. And then she is now going to approach Guinevere. So, her relationship with Juno isn't that great. And if she goes to Juno and tells Juno, I want you to go and tell Guinevere something, I don't think Juno's going to take that well. So Elaine's going to go directly to Guinevere. And she's not going to bring up the whole Daryl thing. Instead, she is going to tell Guinevere that she has some information on the killings, right? And she's gonna tell her that, yes, I am aware it was devil magic, but I am also aware of who might have done it. But I didn't bring it up beforehand because I felt it could endanger the life of someone involved. So Guinevere is going to be intrigued by this, right? And I think that's going to temper some of her annoyance a little bit that it wasn't shared beforehand. So Elaine is going to tell Guinevere that there was a witness to Meredith's murder. And she's going to say murder, not death. There was a witness who shared what she knew with Elaine, but Elaine, fearing for the witness's life, fearing for her life, advised her to keep it a secret until they were sure that it was safe to do so. Until it was safe for the truth to come out. So she's going to go ahead and reveal the name of that witness. And, Guinevere is really curious, who is the witness, Elaine? Whose life did you have to protect? Who were you trying to protect by shutting them up? And so Elaine is going to say it was Princess Juno. Princess Juno is the witness. She saw Meredith's murder when she was young, when she was a child, and I didn't know if it was okay for her in the circumstance we were in to make herself a target for whoever is murdering these people, because obviously they know the situation of the coven at the time. They weren't really having daughters, and even though Juno was a spare, she was a very important member of the coven. So Guinevere is going to thank her, and Elaine is going to leave, and then Catalea is going to come here, and I think Catalea is wanting to check in on Guinevere to see if she's learned anything new. And Guinevere is going to update her because, she was initially helping, and say, well, yes, another witness has come up, our very own Princess Juno Salazar. So I will go check my notes with her. I'm going to go speak to her and see what she has to say about this whole incident. Because if she knows who caused the deaths, then there's nobody here that can refute her word, because she is a princess. So she's going to go to Juno, who is down here. The very room that she, not Catalea. Whoopsies, wrong sim. Guinevere. Guinevere needs to go talk with Juno. So Guinevere is going to seek Juno out, and she's going to figure out the truth. So, oh my goodness, all these politics, the back and forth between characters. So right now, Elaine, by doing what she did, has just gained points with Catalea, because Catalea feels as though Elaine maneuvered things in a way that protected me. So she's happy with that. And then Elaine has gained points with Guinevere, because Guinevere kind of feels as though Elaine did what she had to do to protect the princess's life, just like I did with Kyra. And also, when the time was right, she has guided me in the right direction. Or she's brought us a crucial piece of evidence. So she, I think, is going to be quite happy with Elaine as well. Plus, everyone in general is happy with Elaine right now because she's pregnant. So there is that. But okay, Guinevere is going to hug Juno, the niece she doesn't really spend a whole lot of time with. And she is going to converse with Juno, making sure that Flip and Saran isn't anywhere nearby. Look, in the very room that Elaine told Juno to keep things quiet. But she's going to say that Elaine has come to me concerning recent matters, and Elaine, feeling that the time is right and that it is safe to do so, has shared with me that you were witness to Meredith's murder. So now is the time to tell me if you know anything. So I feel like Juno's a little bit annoyed. I think she's a little bit annoyed right now that Elaine told her not to do something and then went ahead and did it. Especially so late, because Juno's pretty smart, right? So I think Juno feels that if Elaine really cared, she would have done something straight away. Like the danger to her life is the same as it would have been back then. But the fact that Elaine's waited this long to bring this card up makes Juno feel like there was some benefit in it to Elaine. And that's why Elaine did it. And, Juno knows this. She's smart. She's worked at least a little bit of Elaine out. She knows Elaine isn't as straightforward as she makes herself out to be. She doesn't view Elaine as an evil enemy, more like someone to be careful of or wary of. So Juno is going to say, well, there's no point in me keeping this information back anyways. I might as well tell Aunt Guinevere what's going on or what I witnessed. And so she's going to tell Guinevere that, yes, I, back then, saw a physician, Lady Serana, during her pregnancy, leaving the castle during an odd time of the day and going to Guinevere Market. And because it was so out of the ordinary, I decided to skip academy that day and follow her. I know it was dangerous of me to do so, but I thought, why not? I wanted to figure out what was going on. So she's going to share all this with Guinevere. And then she's going to say, I was listening outside for a long while, and it seemed as though Serana was meeting with Meredith at the market. And so I figured I'd just keep following them to see who else they met afterwards. But then I heard all this noise and clamoring inside, so I rushed in only to see Meredith's dead body and Serana kind of over her. And the fact that it wasn't brought up by Serana, both back then and even now, Serana has never brought any of that up. She feels as though that's kind of telling. Like Serana has killed Meredith. That's what she feels like. And so Guinevere is asking her a few questions and saying, but was Hades there? What about Hades? Was he there? And Juno's going to say, Hades? No, Hades wasn't there. It was just Meredith and Serana. She's confident. It was just Meredith and Serana. So then Guinevere is going to think about this. Obviously, Juno doesn't know about the whole Meredith Museum incident. Like, she doesn't know that Serana and stuff are there. So Guinevere is going to think to herself, and she doesn't know that Daryl saw them there. That information hasn't been shared with her. But she's going to be thinking to herself, and she's going to say, okay, so Serana was there the first time, and Hades wasn't there, but Catalea didn't exist at that time. She hadn't come to the kingdom yet. So obviously, Serana wouldn't have been able to use devil magic, right? But at the Meredith Museum, Catalea confirmed that devil magic was used. That means Hades was definitely there. And if the same sort of death happened to Meredith, and Serana's the only one who met her, obviously Serana did the first killing, and Serana does have access to Hades, and she was pregnant with Hades' child at the time. So, using that relationship, she could have called Hades the second time around. Actually, hold on. I'm mixing certain information up. Because I'm pretty sure the second time around, Hades wasn't there. Not with Voldemort. Hades was not there with Voldemort. It was the new mate, wasn't it? It was Serana's new mate that was there, Edmund. Hold on a second, guys. You might be yelling at me through the screen. But yes, I have noticed. Belatedly, but I have noticed. This guy. Edmund was there during Voldemort's time. Yeah. So Hades was not there. Sorry, my bad. But yeah, so Catalea is telling, she's backtracking. With that in mind, basically Daryl, he would have told Catalea that Edmund was there, but that devil magic was used, and Catalea... Okay, that makes sense though, because if Hades wasn't there, then Catalea wouldn't be as stressed about that, but she still would be, because if Serana did use devil magic, and she knows what Serana did, obviously, because how else would she have gotten a slot to come in here? Catalea knows. It's more about how is she going to package this so that others find out about this without Catalea's truth coming out. So she would know about that, and if she knows that Hades wasn't there the second time, obviously he's taught Serana some devil magic, so definitely devil magic was there. And so when Guinevere is looking at this, or when Elaine's looking at this, she's going to find that funny because Hades wasn't there either one of those times, but obviously Hades taught her the magic, and she knows Serana killed Meredith because Juno was the eyewitness. And then Guinevere, so when Guinevere is questioning Juno, she wouldn't be asking about Hades, I suppose. She would be asking about this other guy. Actually, she wouldn't know. She wouldn't know. Yeah, in her mind, it's Hades. That's right, because... Okay, this still makes sense. Jeez, I'm sorry, guys. But Catalea hasn't told her about Edmund and about Serana, but devil magic was there. And if Catalea is not the one who's doing it, obviously, because she wasn't there at the time, it must be Hades. But now Juno is saying that Hades wasn't there the first time. It was just Serana. So then Guinevere is thinking, oh, well, it is also possible that Hades taught her devil magic, and she, out of desperation, has used it. And so when Guinevere is looking back at the cases that have happened in the past, they do have stories from their histories about Morgana Devilzar using devil magic and sacrificing, Lilith, Lady Lilith, one of the princesses, the scholar at the time. It seems to be a scholar thing. The scholar at the time to have a baby girl, and looking at Serana's track record that she was struggling for a long time, Guinevere is thinking, okay, so Serana used devil magic out of desperation to have a girl. Obviously it failed the first time around, so she must have tried again, and she had a boy. And the reason why she thinks that she's pretty convinced it's Serana, based on what Juno said as well, is because the deaths happened both times during Serana's pregnancies. So as far as Guinevere is concerned, it is as light as day, as plain as day, that Serana was the one involved. And I think Guinevere is not too surprised by this either because of what Xiomara did. At this point, I think she considers it a trait of the Coven Rose line to resort to betrayal. So she is, look at this, she's like in the throne room with her knowledge and what she has going on here. So I suppose she's going to now take this to the queen. And we'll have to see what is done to Serana, because now the truth is out. They know. It was a bit confusing, admittedly, but I feel like investigations can be that way. There can be dead ends. There can be some confusion in information that comes across. Like the fact that we mixed up Hades and Edmund, but things in the end are sorted out. And so right now, Catalea is like in the clear. She has truly kind of just entered the coven now, and nobody really suspects her. And to be honest, she just entered. She didn't do anything. And she hasn't exactly shared her own personal goals with anyone, so that doesn't put her in danger. But Serana, her time, I think, has come, guys. Serana's time to answer for her crimes has come. So we also have the Day of the Goddess, so there is that. But okay, guys, with that said and done, I'm going to leave off. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you all enjoyed, and I will see you all next time. Bye-bye.